Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of, well, what is this? This is nothing that I've done before. I don't think I've ever done anything like this before in my entire time in Diablo 2 YouTube land. So what am I doing today? Well, the answer to what I'm doing today lies in the new rune word. So if you have been living under a rock for the past couple days, you may not have heard that we have a new rune word called Unbending Will, which will be coming out in the new ladder. Now, many people, including myself, have gone over this rune word and talked about it, what it could potentially be used for, but what I do not believe has been done yet is to actually play with the rune word. And not only play with the rune word, but make it so that you guys can play with the rune word too. So what I have done is I have created the rune word in Hero Editor. I have essentially made a character. His name is Unbending Will. And inside of this character, you will find a myriad of things that you can use for testing purposes. I have created a character. The character has a myriad of equipment, just things that will make his life a little bit easier. He's running combat skiller charms. He has some all resistance life charms. He's got an annihilus charm, a hellfire torch. He's running, like verdungos. I've also given him 440 stat points, which is the correct number for a level 85 barbarian. And I've given him the 96 skill points, which is the correct number for a level 96 barbarian. And in his inventory, you will find 2 crafted phase blades with the correct stats, 2 crafted colossus blades with the correct stats, 2 crafted executioner swords with the correct stats, 2 crafted dimensional blades with the correct stats, and 2 crafted crystal swords with the correct stats. One of the dimensional blades will be ethereal, and one of the crystal swords will be ethereal. And the purpose of this particular build, or this particular thing, is to give you guys a ability to test out the rune word on your own. Now, I'm going to go through the process of testing out the rune word today, and we're going to have some fun with it. So we're going to need statistics, stats, so we can actually put these rune words on. So on the mercenary, you will also find a nice little bevy of equipment, and he also has an ethereal colossus blade with the rune word in it, which is pretty darn sweet as well. And just to show you guys that I'm not making things up, here is the item that we know the rune word is, and here is the item that I have created. So if you take a look at the 2 side by side, you will see that they are identical. The damage is identical, 107 to 288, 249, 503. The stats are the same, so 88 dexterity requirement, 152 strength. It also has a level requirement of 63, which is the same as the Unbending Will and the Colossus Blade. We have 18% chance to cast level 18 Taunt on striking, which is the same, plus 3 combat skills, 20% increased attack speed, 330% enhanced damage, plus 9 to maximum damage, 50 bonus damage to a 50 attack rating bonus, 75% bonus damage to Undead, 50 attack rating against Undead, prevent monster heal, plus 10 strength, plus 10 vitality, damage reduced by 8, plus 1 to light radius, and negative 20% requirements. It is exactly the same in every way, shape, and form, except for the fact that it doesn't say Unbending Will at the top in gold letters. And I wanted to give more than just a Colossus Blade as an option, because this is actually a level 41 rune word. The Foul rune makes this a level 41 rune word, and if you put this in a Executioner sword, you will get a level 41 rune word version of this item. And I felt like it was a good idea to put this in a Executioner sword. So not only have I put it in an ethereal Executioner sword, I also have a regular Executioner sword here that you can play around with. You can use these to your heart's content, and I will edit these as much as possible so that you have more than one. So what I'm going to do is when I upload this character, I will make it so that you can actually take this. You're going to have 2 regular executioner swords. You're going to have 1 ethereal for the mercenary. You're also going to have 2 crystal swords with the name, as well as 1 ethereal for the mercenary. You're going to have 2 dimensional blades, also 1 ethereal for the mercenary, and then also 2 phase blades. And phase blades don't come ethereal, so there's only going to be the 2 phase blades, and you can put 1 on a mercenary if you need to. This will allow you to test out your character the way that you specifically want to test out your character. And I'm going to copy this file before I actually go through the process of beefing up this particular character and making him stronger, because what I want to do is leave it open to you so that you can test how you would like to test. All right, so I have got everything set up for you guys. I have the file copied over, and at this point in the video, if you take a look down in the description of the video, you should find a link down there with a download file. It's going to be very simply a small zip file, and inside the zip file you will find a copy of this particular character, which you can copy and paste into your save file directory. I'm going to show you very briefly how to get to your save file directory, and hopefully that will help you guys out who have never done this before. So Diablo 2 Resurrected stores its save files in a very specific place, and it is right here. So this is my window right here where I have my save files, and you'll see up here at the top, and you know what, I'm going to zoom in on this up at the top. So we're going to really zoom in on this as much as possible, and you see here it has my username, so it is C users, my name, so this is the account name for my particular computer, saved games, and then Diablo 2 Resurrected. And what you want to do is you're going to take those files that you download, you're going to extract them from the zip file, and they are going to look like this. Unbending will.ctl, D2S, key, MAO, map.bax. And what you're going to do is you're going to take every single one of these Unbending Will files, and you're going to paste them into this directory on your computer. And then when you open up the game, you're going to find the Unbending Will character there for you. Now, you do have to restart the game, so if the game is already open when you copy these files, you're going to have to close the game, and then you're going to have to reopen it to gain access to this character. And enough talking about how you can get access to the character. I want to play with the items myself. So that's what we're going to do today. So first off, I need to give myself some skills. So let's go ahead and give me some skills. So I'm going to max out Sword Mastery. I'm going to go ahead and put 1 in each of these. I'm going to build a Frenzy Barb, because why not? So I'm going to max out Frenzy, and then I'm going to put points into Double Swing, and I'm also going to put points into Berserk. And I'm going to put some points into Taunt. So here we go. I want Taunt. And I want at least 1 point in each one of the shouts. I'm going to beef up Battle Command a little bit. Let's get that at least to level 10. And we'll get Battle Orders at least to level 10. And then we're going to take the rest of the points and we're going to put them in the Taunt Synergy. And it's not exactly the best character in the world, but he'll work. We're also going to give him some stats so that he can actually equip these items. So he is going to need a decent amount of strength and dex, and we're going to give him enough strength and dex so he can wield the Colossus Blade version. So at the very bare minimum, he needs 152 to his strength pool. And you know what, let's give him 152 base, shall we? Why not? That way I don't have to worry about fixing this later should I take off a piece of equipment and all his gear disappears. Alright, and then he also needs dexterity, so he needs 88 dexterity, which he already has literally from equipment, which is pretty hilarious. Not even sure. It must be the Hellfire Torch and the Annihilus Charm. I suppose I could just leave that as it is. Between the 20 and the 20, that's 40, and his base of 20... So that's 40, 50, 60. Actually, let's see, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 89, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. I want to make sure that should something happen, like for instance, I take off one of the swords or whatever is going on, or I take off a piece of equipment, the swords don't just magically de-equip themselves. I always hate that kind of stuff, especially if I swap back and forth between weapon sets and stuff like that happens. So we'll take the rest of the points, we'll plunk those into Vitality. And so now we have a Barbarian who is wielding essentially 2 very nice Unbending Will Runewords. Rune words, yes. Now, you notice I did actually put the runes in the rune word, in the item. It made it much easier for me to get the stats correct. And we're going to play around with this today. We're going to have some fun with a Frenzy Barbarian, because I feel like Frenzy's probably the best thing for these anyway. Let's go ahead and put our shouts on here. And I suppose we could also throw double swing on our other hand. Now I also have the Barbarian set up to simulate whether he is using that item as well. So do keep this in mind. So the Barbarian is utilizing the Spirit Good sword as well. So I have a Barbarian Mercenary. He has the Andariel's Visage with a 1540 jewel in it. He's running Fortitude, and we'll see how he does as well. His is Ethereal, and I feel like we need to go over the Ethereal version real quick. So the Ethereal version is 159 to 426 one-handed, with 374 to 748 two-handed in a Colossus Blade. As a Executioner Sword, the Ethereal version is 154 to 267, 301 to 525, which is really freaking awesome for a level 41 item. We also have the Ethereal version of the Crystal Sword, which is 30 to 103. And then we have the Ethereal version of the Dimensional Blade, which is 81 to 232. And since the Phase Blade cannot actually be ethereal, if you were to put this on a Mercenary, it looks like the Dimensional Blade wins over the Phase Blade. Just simply because the Dimensional Blade can actually be ethereal and the Phase Blade cannot. So let's go play around with this. Let's go kill Shanky Poo and Eldritch, and we'll see how things work out. The damage on these things is very nice. Oh, I didn't think about the fact that I'm running Dracul's. Dracul's is overriding the taunt, which is exactly as I expected. I expected the taunt to be overwritten by other curses, and for taunt to overwrite the curses. So very interesting. Let me take off Dracul's for right now, just so I don't have the overriding curse. As far as damage goes, I feel like this is quite nice for hell difficulty for me running around. But let's change this to player's 8, shall we? Let's really up the ante. So now we're in player's 8. Let's go through Worldstone Keep and let's have some fun in here. Oh, had to be Gloams, didn't it? Had to be Gloams. That's okay. That's okay. We'll go to another zone that isn't completely full of murderous Gloams. Murderous Gloams. Oh, now I gotta res my Merc. I was kind enough to give you guys a full stash of gold, by the way, so that you can actually play around with the characters, resurrect people, do everything that you need to do. Let's go to Ancient's Way. That's not a lot of Gloams in Ancient's Way, is there? And let's buff up me and my Mercenary. Well, look at him beasting that Hell Lord. I'm noticing something that I didn't really consider when I was originally looking at this particular rune word. And I don't know why I never really thought about this, but when the Barbarian Mercenary is attacking things, he uses stun a lot, and he stuns monsters. And when the monsters are stunned, they're not going to be even hitting him, which means for the most part, when they're taunted, the taunt isn't even really going to have any effect. I mean, he's certainly not having any issue killing things. With his Ethereal Colossus Blade, he's certainly doing a lot of damage. Let me move my head out of the way so you can read his statistics. Give me just a second here. I'll sit in the center. So, as you can see, he's running 3,031 damage to 5,635. And for some reason or another, this is just his base damage. It never actually calculates in his actual damage. So, so if we were to run the numbers on his actual damage, he's running, what, 3,031 with a bonus of 280%. So he's got like 11,000 damage a hit or some crazy number like that. I wonder if we can simulate his attacks here. I do have Bash. Bash is 170% on mine, and on his it is 280. So not quite the same, but let me just take his weapon for a second. I'll put it on myself. I can take mine and put it on him for the moment. And then we'll take Bash, which is actually Concentrate is 270, which is very close to his 280. So when we look at Concentrate, it's 4,159 to 8,362, which is not terrible. So it is quite a considerable amount of damage that he's outputting at 4,159 to 8,362, and that could be hit with double damage. So if he had Deadly Strike or something like that, if you could get him Deadly Strike, or maybe build up. I'm trying to think, like Duress might be good to go with this, with the open wounds, the crushing blow, various things like that. Let's give him back his ethereal version, shall we? That's some pretty nice damage that he's wielding. Granted, he doesn't have an AoE attack. He's very single target, so he's still going to be hitting one target at a time. One thing that I'm seeing that is a little disappointing is the taunt isn't happening as often as I thought it was going to be. I guess 18% chance really isn't as high as it should be. Let's play around some more though, because why not? Let's put double swing back on here. I mean, the damage on these things is pretty hilariously high. Let's switch over to the phase blades, which I don't have enough dexterity to wield. I know I should have put. I'm literally 1 point off on the dexterity. 1 point off. The silliness. See? I will punch you to death, sir. Let me go back to town real quick and see if I can grab the dimensional blades instead. The dimensional blades are only, I think they're only slightly less damage than the phase blades. Phase blades obviously have the benefit of being indestructible, but you know, I can't wield the phase blades. The dimensional blades are what, 55 to 159, and the the phase blades are 133 to 159, so definitely interesting there. So put these two on real quick. One dexterity off. One dexterity. You know, one dexterity small chamois. Let me see if I got anything in my my stash that could help alleviate this particular issue. Maybe a pair of gloves with dexterity on them or something along those lines. I do got some ghoul hides. That'd be kind of nice. Ghoul hides. Big old ghoul hides. Oh, I got a Maris. Let's use Maris, shall we? Maris has +5 to attributes. That should be just enough to balance it out and allow me to use the phase blades instead of the dimensional swords. And we can play around with the phase blades. The phase blades certainly do have quite a beautiful look to them, I'll tell you that much. Oh god, they are a lot faster than the Colossus blades, I'll tell you that much. As far as speed is concerned, that's definitely a bonus. I'm seeing a lot more taunts because obviously, you know, the speed of the phase blades is just allowing taunts to hit more often. The damage is certainly not bad with these. I'm not going to say that that it's better than the Colossus blades. Colossus blades definitely hit harder, but I'm really kind of liking this. The taunts going off. I'm really liking the speed of these blades. The damage of the blades is certainly very nice. Of course, these guys are immune to physical, so I'm not going to be able to do very much to these guys. I can taunt them, though. I will taunt your souls off. I will taunt everything you own, and all of your life will be forfeit in the taunting realm. I don't even know how I'm dishing out damage to them, but I am. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. Frenzy has 1%, 1% magic damage per level from Berserk, which I do have 20 points in Berserk. Or no, I don't have 20 points in Berserk. I only have 1 point in Berserk. So I have 1% magical damage, and that's enough to kill some physical immunes. It's pretty impressive. So now that we have these items, we can take them and we can put them on another character. One other thing that I would like to do that I haven't told you about, I wanted to make it a surprise for you guys. So the Barbarian is supposed to have a skill where he uses, I believe it's Warcry. Let me double check on this really quickly, but I am going to actually make it so that our Barbarian friend here can use Warcry. It's going to be part of the package experience. So when you take a look at the Barbarian's skill tree, during the developer conference, they talked about giving the Barbarian the ability to use Battle Cry. That's the name of the skill. The Barbarian is going to have the Battle Cry skill. And I think this is going to be really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the ability for this Barbarian Mercenary to use Battle Cry, so we can get a feeling for how it works. Okay, so under the assumption that the Barbarian Mercenary will not be using Warcry all the time, and also to give you guys the option of being able to play around with this if you would like to. Battle Cry, sorry, I keep saying Warcry, and I don't know why I keep doing that. It's Battle Cry, not Warcry. So you guys can play around with Battle Cry to see what it's like to have a Act 5 mercenary that spams Battle Cry. I have created an Andariel's Visage specifically for this purpose. So this is a Andariel's Visage, which has a 1540 jewel in it, and I have added the effect 15% chance to cast level 18 Battle Cry on attack. And the goal of this is to allow the Barbarian Mercenary the ability to use his new ability. So in the developer conference, they specifically said that they were going to be adding the ability for Barbarian Mercenary to use Battle Cry. And so now we have an idea of what it would be like if the Barbarian Mercenary will use Battlecry. And you can use this helmet to your own devices. But let's see how it turns out, shall we? Kind of interested to see if it will work. Do I have Battlecry? I do not. It's outside of my range. It does not seem to be working. I did not see it even one time. Maybe it needs to be on striking and not on attack. I was hoping on attack would work better, but it doesn't seem to be working at all. We will fiddle around with this a little bit, and I will get it to work. I will be right back. Attempt number 2. This time I've edited in on striking instead of on attack, because sometimes on attack does not work. So this is 30% chance on level 18 Battlecry on striking. So let's see if this one works this time. Seem to be having trouble getting this to work. Maybe it is something that is not possible for the mercenary. Maybe that's the problem. Let's put this on myself and see if I can proc the effect. Could certainly proc Firestorm. It's certainly proc Firestorm. Now, it seems like this is a bust. I'm not exactly sure why I can't get Battlecry to do its thing, but Battlecry is definitely not doing its thing, which is rather unfortunate. I guess that will have to wait for another day. I may do a little bit more testing to see if I can get it to work and include it in the file. I'll be right back. We'll do one more little test to see what I can figure out, shall we? Well, despite multiple attempts, I have been unable to successfully get it to proc. I even decided to go with a 30% chance to cast level 18 on striking, as well as another helmet where I made it so that it would be a 100% chance to cast when struck. And no matter what I did, it just didn't seem to work. I will include these items into the file, however, that you can download. So, if you want to play around with it. Unfortunately, for some reason or another, I can't get the effects to proc. No matter how I put them in, they don't actually work. And I'm not sure if that's a failure of Battlecry itself or what's going on there, but it's interesting. Anyway, I hope that you guys and gals enjoy playing around with the new Runeword. I hope that you have some fun downloading the files and just having fun with the way that the new Runeword works, testing them out on various characters. Of course, you can take them off of this character and you can put them on other characters and play around with it. And as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos. And if you do enjoy my content, think about hitting that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. And if you really are a dedicated member of my channel who likes to watch everything, I also have a membership option where you can become a member, get exclusive channel badges, emotes, and all sorts of interesting things, as well as some discounts on my merch shop. And as always, thank you for watching.